So I had to start my little intro off, that's my song and that's my anthem. But I want to start you guys off by saying thank you once again. This is your boy Trey, and I'm here to talk a little bit more on my journey and how I got here. For those who don't know and first time watching, I am a trans man, and this is me. I've decided to do a lot of things, so I'm gonna try keep it as neutral as possible. Sorry, I'm nervous. It's like I said in the last video, it's almost like I'm standing in front of an actual audience when it comes to speaking in public personally. But my whole YouTube channel, I'm gonna give you once again a breakdown on everything I'll be doing. But before I do that, I want to thank you guys once again for supporting me on this journey. It was a long and very, very, very painful one, but it was a great turnout, and that's the most important thing about it. Um, First of all, I would like to start on a little bit on my life and before I came to Canada and started my transitioning. Um, I was born a female, and I was born in September 29, 1990. I was born a female. I was born in the Bahamas, Nassau, Bahamas. This is my proud Bahamian flag. Big up my Bahamian people. Um, I was born in the Bahamas to some amazing parents that I have. You will get to later on to see them. Um, like I said, I was born a female, and I grew up on a little island called Harbor Island. It's a little small island of Nassau, New Providence, which is the capital. That's where I started most of my early growth growing up as a female. I felt different. And if I'm correct, I was about 7 years old when I started, feeling the urge for a female. That's when it all started. And I never told anybody because the island where I came from or where I grew up was like much older persons that don't know anything about gay or anybody in the LGBT community. We never knew about those things, it's just whatever we see on social media. It was just like a movie to everybody. So it made it hard for me to understand what I was fighting on the inside, but I knew I was different. I started going to school where I find myself hanging out with the boys, where I find myself doing everything that the boys do, which, they look at the girls, them, the playground. I'm looking too, I'm looking too, trying to see what's happening. Is this the same thing that I'm feeling? Then I grew up with in the house with my older sister, um, my brother. It was like three of us that grew up closer to my mom, and the two other brothers were more closer to my dad. Like they grew up with them, but it was always me, my sister, and my brother with my mom, and I always felt like I needed to be a brother and not a little sister, even though I know that I was the baby, but I never told anybody. I just went ahead, think about it. I did research, I thought something was wrong with me. So I was like, I'm going to find out what's going on. But as time go by, years go by, my dad used to take us to the United States to do our back to school shopping. So when we would go shopping, he'll be like, "Oh, go in the girls section, go get your clothes." And I don't want to go in the girls section to go get no clothes for me. So I was like, I can follow the other side. So I always dress like a boy. I dress like a female. Some and out of respect of my late grandma and me not telling anyone, you want to live. It's almost like I was living two lives, but it was almost like a lie. And I knew that I had to speak up for who I wanted to be and who I know, actually, who I know I am. And I knew that the island was not educated on this type of life, this type of change. So um, I never knew how I was going to do it. But I kept it to myself, and I used to play along, apart from traveling and dressing like a boy and sometimes dressing like a girl. It was like no one ever really looked at that, it was never a say. Okay, it couldn't be gay, it couldn't be straight, it was just um but as years gone by, I went to Nassau, Bahamas, where I did my second year of schooling, like 7, 8 to 12. Yeah, 7 to 12. I did my schooling, and I always felt that no matter where I go, I was a male, and never changed anything. When people talk to me, they simply they talk and they be she, and I'd be like, where you see a she? Like I always correct it. I'd be like, where you see a she? But people always look at it as a joke. But my life in the Bahamas was not easy, as much as I might be sitting there and I make it seems like it's like all flowers and but it wasn't. Being a gay person in the Bahamas was very hard. Um, and to tell somebody that you don't feel comfortable in the body you're in would have been very difficult. Um, but I went to my mom before I went to Nassau. I went to my mom. I was like, Mom, I like girls. She's like, I know you was gay from a long time. So, we always had that relationship. And I was like, I was gay from like, yeah, I know you was gay, but I'm not gonna act like I never had my little high school boyfriends. Yeah, I had a little high school boyfriend where I give my mom trouble, where he used to come in the back of the yard and ask for me, be like, I come to see your daughter. My mom used to run him. But yeah, I had those times when like any ordinary person would basically they would do, they will have they will explore to see what it is they're fighting with. And I never knew what I was fighting with. And I decided that, one day I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna succeed. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna become exactly what I vision myself to be and what I know myself to be, and I never stopped. Um, so after finishing my early school, giving my mom some trouble, I went off to Nassau, Bahamas, and I did my schooling where I stayed with my older sister. She mentored me through school until I graduated high school. Um, for those that are from the Bahamas, I've graduated from C.R. Walker Senior High School, Nassau, Blue Hill Road. Yes, I was the class of 2008. For those that on my page and in my class, this is Ty. In my first video, not sure if I told you guys, I'm quite positive I did, but my original name that I was born was Tyvania. A lot of people know me as Ty, but I'm proud to say I am Trey, and I am a trans man, and this is me. Yes. So back to what I was saying. When I went to Nassau, I went to Nassau and I stayed with my sister, and we actually grew up in the Prophecies Church of God of Prophecy. So we spent most of our time in church, um, and we were like the pastor kids at that present point of time, and we always put God first, regardless of whatever we do and whatever choices and decisions we make in life. We know that God is our number one, most definitely. Um, Going to Nassau was a very challenging experience for me, because despite of me being more outspoken now in the front of the camera with you guys, I was never a talker. I was always a person that shield. when it comes to anything to do with spotlight or crowd, or I always was afraid. I was afraid of so much different things because of a lot of things that I was faced in my life, which I'm gonna get to. I'm gonna try not to get emotional, but I've got most definitely stronger, I must say. Um, but coming to Nassau, Bahamas, was the hardest, most challenges part of my life, which I thought it would have been something greater, leaving a small island of Harbor Island to go into the city. It was like, okay, I get to expand, get to do a lot of things. That's what I figure that's what I was going for, to start a new job and, venture off, coming out of high school, well, great about to graduate out of high school and stuff. You never know what you're up against, and I went there, I graduated, CL Walker, like I was telling you guys, and this is when I started my dating years, like putting myself out there to say, date people, get to know people, and I've met some very interesting people, and some were great, some were difficult, some were hard to understand, some were abusive. It's just a lot. Um, but I can go on and on with a lot of things that I went in my life with, and I want to first tell you guys that I am doing this because I want to help those that never had a voice and help those to speak up. Don't let it be too late where you end up losing your life because you never spoke up or you never got the opportunity to just use me as an example. I might have faced these things, but I want you to use me as an example and learn, you know. Thank you for the love, Nay. Thank you for the love, Hannah, Michelle. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, I want to tell you guys, my life was not the greatest when it comes to relationships, making friends, hell, just being me. It was always hard. So I hope that my story can help somebody out there to not do the things that I have done. This is the first time that I've ever speak in the front of anyone because everyone had a story for me, but I never got to tell my own story. And I feel that this is the time that I should speak up and tell my story because I have a voice and I should have spoken a long time ago. So I hope that this out there someday, somewhere around the world, can help someone. I'm going to base on some topics. I'm going to start with my last to my latest. My last, I've had a relationship inside my life, and I love this female to the moon and back. And I would not call her name out of respect, but she know who she is. And anybody that knows me knows this female and knows my struggle. I love this female so much till I forgot about me. I forgot about my son. I forgot about my mom. I forgot about my sister. I forget about everyone. I dedicated my love to this one individual. And my love was never seen. When we first met, we were like best friends, we are like lovers, and that's how every relationship gets. It starts off great, starts off rocky, hell, it hurts. And I thought that I had the one. I thought I had the one. I was like, I got this. I finally found someone that, understands me. Our birthday was like hours away because same year, same month, just a day apart. And she made me felt that I was loved, but it wasn't the love that I wanted. It was abuse love. where it made me feel like abuse was love. Yeah. I felt like abuse was love. So everywhere I went and whatever I do in life, I needed abuse because I dedicated so much to this female till I lost myself. And it wasn't fair to me, but I knew that one day I would have a voice. In this relationship, I found out that the girl before myself in her life was murdered by her lover. And I also found out that it was my ex girlfriend that she also used to abuse. But I was the one that survived. Thank you, Hannah. I was the one that survived. But the ex died from their previous lover, all because of abuse. And no one speaks up. Everyone just sits there and just watch the face. Oh, they look so happy together. That picture perfect. It's so great. They look so perfect. I want to be like that couple. No, I'm telling you, don't watch the faces when you go out there. There's a lot behind that face. I'm telling you, there's a lot behind that face. I loved this individual for almost 6 years of my life. I would have buy a plate of food for her and give it to her and eat nothing. I loved her so much to her $900 hairstyle every 2 weeks was breathless out of my pockets. But I'm telling you, no one knew because I was the bad guy. I never had a voice, but I'm going to have a voice and I'm going to have it today, whether who wants to hear it or not, because I'm tired of living in hurt. I'm tired of living in pain. I'm tired of wearing this scar on my shoulder. I'm tired looking in the mirror and I'm seeing every bit of my abuse on a day. I need my abuser to know that you hurt me. You broke me. You damaged me. You destroy me. How could you? When I loved you, I give you more than what you ever in life could have ever desired. When I met you, I never judged you. And that's what hurt me. Questionable, hi, how are you? I've never hurt you. This female hurt me and abused me all because of what social media had told her. Listen, social media has gone in so much different ways. It's crazy. Social media has taken over the minds of so much people, and I'm telling you, the kids are even so corrupt by it. But I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna make it different. I'm gonna stand for what I know within my heart that I am doing the right thing. A lot of people might come on this and be like, oh, you're talking about one individual, but this individual took everything and every scar that have I ever faced in my life, it overpowered because I've lost my dignity. I've lost my self-esteem. I've lost every piece, hope. I thought I was nobody. I was together with her for 5 years, going on 6 years. There were so many nights that I called my mom crying, Mom, I'm not going to survive. No mom wants to hear a 2, 3 o'clock in the morning call that their child is going to be murdered or was stabbed to death. Listen, this woman stabbed me. You see the smile on my face, and this ain't happiness, this is hurt. It took courage to come in the front of this camera to tell everybody out here that, let me tell you, find out who you with, get to know people. Because when it says love, it ain't love, yo. It took courage to come in the front of here to say, the woman that I love so much stabbed me multiple times, gashed my head into concrete wall in the front of my son. I had many of opportunities of doing something, but I've never did it because I loved hard. But if you out there watching this video, just tell me why you can hurt someone that loved you so much. You have so much answers for me, but I wish you the best. I've heard so much about you, and I hope that you can continue doing great. But see, the God you serve out there, you better serve him right. Because he didn't like what you done to me. You took more than my self-control. You took my dignity. You took my self-pride. You took me. But let me tell you, today I am taking back me. And this is me. You hear me? No more abuse. You can't hit me now, right? There's no more pain. Because let me tell you, I am stronger and I'm wiser. You hear me? I am brave. I am doing what a lot of people won't do. You hear me? Listen to me. This female beat me in the front of my child. Split open my head. I've took 10 stitches in the center of my forehead. I was stabbed also to the side of my head. I've lost 5% of my hair in my right ear. And I have 5% of my sight in my left eye. I don't know if you can see. All of that was blood bruise and everything. I never knew if I would have survived. But you see, my story was never told. They look perfect in the eyes of many, perfect in the eyes of many. I remember one time going at the fish fry, and it was a great day, and someone had sent her a message and say, yo, I saw your girlfriend. Like I say, they never knew who I was. I saw your girlfriend with so-and-so the other night, and that's all she had to hear. I have dreadlocks, as you can see in my photo here. When I said I'll 10 dreadlocks from the side of my hair, when you drag them, you pull them from every strand of my brain, you probably take them out. I'm telling you. Tear off all my clothes. I'm telling you, I faced it. And I ran through an alleyway, and I ran until I got a hold of somebody. To get a hold of this lady that, out of respect, I won't call her name. This lady to come and pick me up, and I jump in her car with just my underwear on. And I went, bruised up, just because of embarrassment. Everybody laughed at me. Oh, you're supposed to be a man and you got your girlfriend doing this. Listen, I'm going to be real. I don't lay hands on a female. I have a mother. I have a sister. A female was not built to be broken. They're some of the strongest individuals out there in life. I'm telling you. From they can give birth, that's it. I would never lay hands on a female. But if I have to, I did. Once. It's not because I could not beat my ex. I sure hell could have. but I love you. That's why I won't. That's the difference between my love and a lot of people love out there. I don't have to be somebody that I'm not, or I have to be abusive or some way to show I am me. I am the kind that likes to take the long walks. I like to dance with my girls. I love to sing. I love to do stupid things. I like to be a kid sometimes. I'm that type. I'm not gonna stand there and be something that I'm not to please you. That's the difference. And it was never enough for her. In 2015 was when we broke up. Actually, I walked away, but I'm gonna get to that. Um, when I left, when I was with her, I knew that I had to get out, but I was afraid. I was afraid because of the things that people told me that she does. I then get to find out who she was in the relationship. It was too far gone. So I always knew that I had to find a way. It was not an easy way of getting out that house. A lot of people will flick on the light and be like, okay, how can we do this? How can we do that? But I'm going to tell you, it was the most hardest way to get out of this relationship. I don't know if it was fair. I don't know if I was hatched. I don't know what it was, but I could not leave. And many of times I went out of this relationship, but I end up back. There was a time when my mom, my sister, and my brother came and rescued me to try and get me out of the house. This girl carry on and she carry on. And my mom, that's why I say my mom is my rock. I don't care what any one of y'all gotta say to them to judge my mom. My mom is my rock. You hear me? When you look for best moms, that's the world's greatest. She fought for me, yo. No matter how tough that battle was, my mom would have jumped off that island, flew 2 hours away, and she came because she knew that I was hers. That's a mom. So I don't care if anybody judge her at the end of the day that knows her on this live or anywhere around the world. My mom, best mom ever. My mom came there and she fought back with this female. My brother fought back. My sister came. It was just so much. And she protected me in every which way she can possibly protect me. And I love you, mom. You hear me? I love you. I love you so much. Trust me. Listen to me. I'm telling a lot of you guys, if you have the opportunity, you guys are probably in a relationship right now and afraid to speak up. Listen, speak up, because just like my ex-lover before her was murdered by her lover, listen, don't be. I was able to get out. My out was not easy. It was a beat down. I was stabbed up. I was beat. I was ran over by a car. Listen, I didn't even get to the greatest part of it. It even was a time where I had my little niece came and visit me, and she was staying with me, and my ex get mad at me because my niece went to go visit one of her friends in school. So I was like, she's almost out of school. It doesn't matter. You let her go with her friends. They're gonna come. Her friends is my sister, little sister. I was like, go ahead. Um, that night when my niece came back, I can recall this like it just happened yesterday. I was in my apartment with my lover. My niece was there, and she was just sitting down watching Facebook, her Facebook page, and she was just going off about, yeah, people telling her this about me, people telling her that about me. And I'm like, why you always listen to people? If you listen to people, you will never make it so much in life, especially if it's negative. If it's not uplifting you, you don't need it. It's called toxic. Just leave it. Yes, Sana, it was more than toxic. It was hell. I won't wish it on nobody. Um, it's it was this night that me and my niece was sitting there. My niece was scared because it was already um late and we were arguing, and she never been around the whole situation to know what's going on. So she's sitting there through the arguments and the ups and downs and everything that's going. So I'm scared because I know this is the first time I have a family members so close actually being physical there and not having to be called to come and to come and rescue me, or however. It was like she was actually there. And I remember my ex fighting, and all I remember was I turned around and I see that she grabbed the kitchen knife. I don't have one present right here to show you, but anybody knows the knife tray that has the different lengths of knives and it goes from small to biggest. The steak knife that has the little grits inside of it, that one. And all I thought when she saw was when she picked it up, and I was like, no, she ain't gonna stab me. So I was like, you know what? At this point in time, I'm arguing. I'm trying to push her back as much because I'm not gonna show like I'm some type of, you know, crybaby or some type of punk or whatever, and not fight back in the front of my niece. So I'm there pushing. I'm like, yo, stop, stop, stop. She ain't stopping. And before I know, I turned around to go look at my niece, and I turned back. All I saw was the knife. So the only thing I could have do was go like this. And when I did like this, that's when I was stabbed twice. I don't know if you guys can see it. I put a tattoo over it to cover it. But I was stabbed twice in the forearm, where I lose both feeling and movement in these two fingers. I was paralyzed in this finger and I could not move it. So I had to take therapy to get those to move, where I had a tendon muscle repair surgery to allow me to have that movement again. Now, a lot of people never knew, but this is what I was faced, and this is how I gained back my motion in my hand after being stabbed. But before I even gained back that therapy and got surgery and got that situation fixed, that female had the courage to tell me to stay home and don't seek medical help. And I'm bleeding out. I'm talking about puddles and puddles of blood. The blood became like jello. The apartment was like a bloodbath. The landlord was God, the landlord was like tired of coming there and pleading and begging for her to just stop, because he knew, and he would wait till she leave and he'd be like, yo, you need to get out of this. Like, she's going to kill you. And he used to talk to me, but, you know, love, stupidness, love with the wrong person. This here, she told me, no, you can't go to the hospital. They're going to call police. And I was like, oh, no, I can't call police because I'm not going to see her again. This is my mindset. And she said I did not love her. God, if that's not love, I don't want to know what's love. I sat in there. My little niece, she could have been probably about 12, 11, 12 around that time, helped me bandage this hand. And bandaged his hand, and I rest my hand in the bed and I slept in that bed next to my niece. And I hold her hand in pain as I bleed and my whole hand turned blue. I wake up my niece in the middle of the night. I say, no, I'm gonna end up losing this hand. My niece said, we're gonna wait till she go to work and we're gonna go to the hospital. I said, okay, how much longer? Before morning? This is how we're communicating as she sleep on the opposite side of me. I'm in the middle between two because she's comforting me. My stabber is comforting me. So I'm sitting there inside the bed and I'm right there shaking. I'm not sure if I'm going to lose this hand. That's the hard part. And I could not pick up the phone and call my mom. I could not call no one. I could not do nothing because seeing my mom rescue me so much, I was afraid if I have her anywhere, any one of my family anywhere, that they would have most definitely be caught in this. So I stayed away and I sheltered myself from the world. I never went out. I never kept friends. No one knew about me. All there was like, this is so-and-so little sister. This is how they remember me. No one knew my name. No one knew nothing. All they knew that this was who's ever ex and this is whoever's sister. This is all that people knew me as. No one never listened to a story. And you see that face walk around so brisk and bold, you're gonna know my pain. And I sure there's a lot of people that went through it. You guys speak up. Don't be a victim. Don't be that body on the floor. No one knows. I got an opportunity to stand in the front of here today and tell my story. After almost 10 years of separation, I got an opportunity to stand. I was with this female for 5 years, and 4 years was just abuse. When I got to the hospital with this hand, the first thing the doctor looked at me and said, "What happened?" I said, "I got in a fight at the club." The doctor looked at me and he was like, "This ain't no fight." I said, "I got in a fight at the club." He said, "Okay, I'm not going to make you speak, but if I see you here again, I'm going to ask you to press charges because I know it has to be the same female that walks up inside here and she looks so afraid." All I did was I hang my head down and I did no more talking. Bandage up. She took me home. She went back to work. Life gone back to normal. We were best friends again. That love and abuse. Now we're the next day after being stabbed. Never could have run. Never could have hide. It was a It was a other altercation when it all was social media and what her friends or what this one has said or that one had said. It's never what they knew. It was always what they heard. That's how I got my abuse. Because people wrongly carry messages and never ever carry them right. Listen to me. Yes, it is a testimony, and I'm hoping that it can help someone speak up. Thanks a lot, Hannah, for the support, and everyone that is out there on the support and the likes. I really appreciate it. This that I'm doing is mental health and mental state. My mental state and mental health was the hardest thing that I've ever faced in my life. But this woman take my dignity. She took my pride. She took who I was. But I'm taking it back and I'm speaking up. Whether they want to be heard or not, they're going to be heard. And it's going to help someone. And hopefully it's not too late for that person. But if you have the opportunity to walk away from an abusive situation or a toxic situation, let me tell you, my brothers, my sisters, my family, my loved ones, everyone around the world, I'm telling you, walk away. Some people didn't have the opportunity. Want me to tell you how I walk away? With the clothes on my back. I entered this country here, Canada, with the clothes on my back because I was not letting nothing hold me back. Like I was saying, it was a altercation one time. I had my son, and he was with us today at the apartment, and she was arguing. It was a night, sorry, and she was arguing and she was arguing, and I was like, "Yo, I have to call this lady from church to come and pick up my son." He was like 3 or 4. I need him to come and pick up my son. So right then, I sent a message. I was like, "Yo, she's arguing. Come, I need you to pick up my son." Time as the lady got there at the house, I consider it too late. By then, time as she came there, the situation had already escalated. My ex started to fight me. And like I said, I don't want to fight her back because, yo, the human body was not built to be broken. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. And she fought back, and all I can remember, I pushed, and I was like, "Stop, just stop, please, just stop." That's all I could have remembered. I was like, "Please," and I beg, and I beg, and I beg, and I beg, and I beg. I said, "Please stop." I said, "Really, please stop." And no matter how much I begged, no matter how much I plead, she never stopped. She just keep beating me. And I'm telling you, I was like 89 pounds and she was like 165 pounds. She's cruft, like she's built. And all I can remember was her just kicking me all in the stomach, in the back. And I remember the frying pan, it was a flatbed frying pan. I remember she just hitting me all in my back. The stick from the mop just hitting me. Like, it was bad. Like, and I'm begging, I'm looking over at my son screaming in the bed, crying. So my only thing was to go and grab my son. So I grab him and I started grabbing. I'm saying, I'm leaving. I'm started grabbing my stuff, grabbing my son because I have my son in my hand. And I'm grabbing everything as I can go and I'm putting everything outside and pushing everything outside. But one thing that I turned back for that night after having my son was a photo that was hanging up on the wall of our apartment. And it was a picture of me and my son when my son was first born. And I was holding him, looking at him like this. I give her that picture and she loved that picture. And I yucked that photo off. And when I pulled that photo off the dresser, I had my son inside my hand. All I saw was when my head went straight into the dresser head, the 6 dresser head with the mirror. And it went through and I felt something cold. So I was like, why is it cold? And I touched my head. And that's when I realized that from here, straight down here was just split. A glass split straight through my head. And I'm holding my son and my son screaming, no, mommy, no, mommy, no, mommy, no, mommy, no. And he's screaming. So I don't know what to do. I know I'm in shock. I'm bleeding out. I don't know what happened. She's going crazy. She's trying to get towels and things to try and hold me. And I'm like, you always do this. You always do this. But you want to help me. I ran around to the landlord. She lived in the apartment at that house where we were staying. I ran around to the apartment and I knock on the door. Her daughter answered. I said, call your mom. And the little girl ran, mom, they're bleeding, running that way. Time as the lady who I called to come and pick up my son got there, I was shattered in blood. I didn't know I was getting lightheaded. Ambulance was called. Police was called. The whole road was blocked off in Pinewood Gardens. I can say the location, but it was in the back part of Pinewood Gardens. And I remember the police, them coming, and I'm standing there and I'm bleeding out. And I give my son to this lady and I say, take him. I don't want him to see this. And my sister showed up. I called my sister with the screaming and everything going in the back. And I called my sister. I say, I might not survive. I'm bleeding from my head. My sister showed up in 2.1 seconds, if it's possible. She was like Chetney. From one part of Nassau to another end, she came. But you know what hurt me? And I hope one day when my sister get the opportunity to see this, I should have never let her in the ambulance with me. And viewers, the reason why I said I should have never let my ex-lover in the ambulance with me, because she stabbed me. And when the paramedics asked me, who I want to go with, I said, let her go. The cops was there talking to my sister. Everybody was there. And I was like, no, I don't want my sister to come. Let her come. Sister, whenever you hear this is only because I was ashamed. I looked up to you so much. And to know what I was going through, I could not let you see it. Sister, I was beaten. Listen, viewers, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know, but I'm going to speak up. I thought I was going to lose my life. That night, I end up back in the hospital, and for some reason, I end up with the same doctor. And he say, you're back again. I was like, yep. So let me guess, this is a fight again. I was like, I'm a trouble child. I always get in fights. He was like, that's bull. I'm getting police involved. Police came at PMH Hospital. I asked to take a statement. I was like, no, I'm not taking a statement. I'm not pressing charges. How can I press charges on the one I love? That's what I asked the officer. The officer turned around and said, "You're stupid." Because if it was me, I would have jailed her. She don't deserve to be out there freely. I would have jailed her. She can go out there and murder someone else. And you just freed her. I said, "Officer, she have a dream, just like me. And I don't want to take nobody's dream." I remember it like it was yesterday. Listen, I can go on and on with so much that I was faced by this individual. But see, my YouTube channel was not based on this. It was based on basically to help you guys understand that if you have a voice, use it. You have an opportunity to get out of a toxic situation, go. Do not end up like me. It could have been worse, as much as it could have been lead to death. Speak up, guys. If nobody's not gonna love you for you, then they don't love you at all. I had a lot of things in my life came as fake. I had friends, I had lovers, I had some long-term family members that showed up and only criticized because what reason? I don't know. But let me tell you, I have my great supportive team. So I'm okay. I'm okay with whatever anybody have to say because let me tell you something, Trey have a voice. See, Tyvania never had a voice. Ty never had a voice. But I'm telling you, this is Trey, and I have a voice. And I'm going to speak up. I'm going to win. Because I deserve just as much as you guys deserve out there. So don't never sit down and feel as if that your body was built to be big, broke on, beat on, damaged on, destroyed on. Let me tell you something. I'm speaking to being raped. I'm speaking of persons that are being abused. I'm speaking of persons that are being abandoned. I'm telling you, I want to hit every hometown there is because see, there's a lot of people that wear a face that when you see them out, it's like they went to the Grammy Awards. Everything is perfect. But see, if you really get to know the heart of them, they're soft and they're hurting and just want to be embraced. Know your faces. That's it. A lot of people judge. Don't judge. Come on, man. You can't judge. We're supposed to be one. Look at the world today. We are already at war between countries and countries. Why do we have to be at war for love and peace? Come on now, tell me. I want to reach home to a lot of hearts. You see, this YouTube channel is going to take platform because I want to speak to a lot of people. I want to hit home for a lot of people. Because when I walked those streets in Nassau, Bahamas with no clothes on my back after being stabbed and after beating, I didn't see no one. Everyone that said they loved me and they're my friends, where are they? But you know, I saw my lovers. My mama was there when she could have come. When my brother was in the Bahamas, he came. When my sister was there, she flew. I don't know how she get there, but she flew. Listen, when I felt alone, I was never alone, but I felt distant because I kept myself captured. Because I never had a voice. I never had a voice. Listen, I said all of this, and I can go on with a lot. But I'm going to touch base on a lot of things. I don't wish this individual no harm. But I hope that she can answer these questions to God one day. How could you go out there being and speaking so much, a woman of God, and did so much wrong? But see, I'm a child of him and I forgive. I never say I'm going to forget, but I'm good enough to give you forgiveness. I forgive you for every bit of me, and I wish you the best. Thank you so much for the love. Listen, I'm going to speak up and I'm going to reach it, and it's going to touch home for someone. There was a situation back home. Everybody that knows me and some real lovers out there, if you know, and ex-lovers out there, I'm sure one or two of them will probably get a view of this around the world, knows me, can vouch for this. I'm a person that when I love and I dedicate everything. I dedicate everything to that person. I've taken this person from out of a home to a palace. I treated this person from a female to a queen. I built an empire, but I was never recognized nor appreciated. That they have done her. I took the blame. I took the blame. That's the problem. I felt like I was penalized for everyone that done her wrong. I was never the victim. I was never the problem in her life. But a damaged person would always try to damage another soul. But instead of damaging a person, why not uplift them? Why not walk with them, hold them, love them? Why not? I remember this time I had a vehicle. Sorry. And this is crazy. This female taking this vehicle from me, drop me off at the park and tell me this is where you're gonna stay. Put me out of the apartment. What I'm paying the rent for, my paycheck, and the landlord can vouch for this, my money. I sat there and I sat at the park. So what am I supposed to do? This is where you're gonna live. You're not coming home tonight. Okay, well, give me my car. No, you're not getting my car. I'm gonna put up a fight. I'm on the streets. I'm not. I left it. Stayed on the park. It was Charles W. Sanders Highway. And I sat on that park and I called the same church lady. She always come. She came in her car. We sat there. She bought me some food and we chill. We talk. She was like, "Where your car?" It was like, "So and so has it, whatever." But long story short, later on that night, my ex-lover passed the house with her boyfriend. Man, listen, I have some strange things in my life. Inside the car, but I'm thought, you don't do guys. No problem. I'm just passing across the park to see if you're still there. Okay. Long story. I was able to get my car later on that night, sorry. Got my car, couldn't go back at the apartment. I was put out. Had all my things inside the car, took all my funds that I had. I'm not calling home. I'm embarrassed, and I don't want to embarrass my mom. So I'm not calling home. I'm going to deal with this. This is how I always dealt with it. Don't bother no one. I had this friend guy that we went to school with. He always chill with me. He always hang with me, and he happens to be the mother of the lady in church that I got cooled with. And we were cool. You know, he always was neck and neck, always helped me out to make sure I was good no matter what it is. Even came a time where him and his mom would sneak me inside their house so I can just have a shelter over my head, you know, to rest because my ex put me out of the apartment and I don't want nobody to know. But she took me out of the apartment. I said, okay, I don't have nowhere to stay. I have my car. That's good. It been days that I stayed inside my car. Nights I've stayed inside my car, embarrassed to go to work because I don't know who all she told. And the Nassau is so small. It's like once they know you, everybody know you. So it's like I'm not going to work. I cannot show all of this that I went through. I don't know who she talked to. This is how it was. So I never knew what it is that at this present point in time that I should do. And sorry. And I did not know exactly what it is that I should do in a case like that. So after I got my vehicle that night, I spent many of days sleeping on the park between Charles W. Sanders Highway and Araki, whatever was a nice setting, somewhere to give me a view, to vision this moment. I always was a person that sat in my vehicles and just go places with a nice view and I vision, you know, I have a moment with myself. No problem. Calmer, Trey Calmer, you can tune in. This will still be on the feed. Trust me, you can tune back in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, everyone. Share the link, get it out there. Let's go speak up, my brothers and sisters. Um, yes, I remember going at these parks and just envisioning, you just seeing everything that you want to become, where you know you're gonna go and what you want to do. This is what I do. I find myself to find that places, and no matter where I go ahead and drive, it always had a view. So I was between Cable Beach, Life Key, Hawaii. I always had a view. And no, I wasn't homeless. If you guys just find it from my parents were well protected people. Just I was homeless to the situation, to my lover, because I've dedicated myself to that relationship. I did not want it to make my problem my family's problem. So this is how situations was. So when my ex had taken everything from me and left me out, I did not want my problems to become my family's problem. So I dealt with it on my own. And this is how it all went. So I remember sitting on a park that night and this car just flew past. And I'm like, no, I must be dreaming. I know I was sleepy, but this car just flew past. And I was like, what's that? A few minutes later, I saw police, ambulance, everybody screaming. So I screwed up my window, ran over to go see what's happening. It was a mother and 3 kids. She drove overboard with her kids in the vehicle. Mind you, I used this story because I sat in that car plenty of times and I wanted to drive that car over the cliff because of what I was going through. The abuse. No matter even if I was out of the house, in the house, on the streets, I can be sitting right here talking to you guys and I can get hit with something. That's how toxic it was. They would say they over, done, don't want a relationship with me. The moment they see a friend, I could be speaking to a tourist, I'm gonna get it somehow. Workplace. Workplace was the most embarrassing places when they arrived there. I faced it. And see, there were many a times that I sat down in my car in that spot where I envisioned this moment that I would one day do. I sat down and I said, What if I take my life? I don't have no friends. Everybody that call me friends just walk away. They don't like me because I don't look like them. I don't dress, baggy clothes and all the good stuff, and I'm not thuggish. And it was, let me tell you, the topics with the things that I was told, that the reason why I'm not a friend, it was crazy. I never fit in. No matter where I went, I never fit in. I never fit in. A lot of people would come in my DM and be like, "Oh, you're cute, you're this and that." Listen, I really appreciate all the compliments, but it came a time when I never in my life felt any of it. I felt like I was the ugliest thing going. I felt like, listen, I can go on with the pain and things that I endure. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't just this female, but this female was like, when you reach that point in your life when you're like, that's it. I don't want another one to hurt me this way. That was the one that put the cherry on the cake. That was the finishing topic. You didn't need no more after her. I'm telling you, I've done so much for so much years to keep myself together. I had to search for myself. I had to try and find myself. I had to try stand. I had to try be there to be a parent to my son. You guys will get to know him later on. I have a lot, like I said, there's different chapters into this journey. Guys, just keep continuing to like, comment, subscribe, share the link. This is gonna hit home to someone. I'm telling you, there were so many rainy days inside my life. I sat down and I was like, God, if I ever was to make it out alive, I'm gonna stand in the front of the world and I'm gonna tell the world my story and show them that this is me. That's what I said I was gonna do. And look at me now. Ah, 7 years later, this is me. 7 years later. I remember those moments sitting down trying to figure out if tomorrow would be gray or if tomorrow would be blue. I never knew. Let me give y'all how I had to deal with my mental state. And I always sit down and be like, how people can take their life. Yo, I understand when people get to a breaking point and say, that is it. I want to end because I've cut my wrists. I've hung things from the ceiling. I've tried to jump. I've tried, but let me tell you, it never happened because I continue to fight. And I believe that this moment like this will come where I would get to stand in the front of an audience one day and speak my story and let you guys know that, hey, don't give up. Because in your toughest situation, you can win. You can still become you. You can still come on top. You just have to believe in yourself. You have to keep pushing. I given up a lot of times, especially the thought that, hey, I would have to show my face in the front of the camera one day. It can't just be a video tribute. It has to come. Now, I had to pace myself for this moment. It's the hardest moment that I've ever went through in my life. Apart from my abuse, facing you guys, but I'm happy. I feel like a weight, has just lifted. I feel like I am the man that I am said to be. I am me. This is me, everyone. This is Trey. And I regret nothing. I make no apology. I make no apology. I remember I remember sleeping one night in my bed and my cell phone rang. And it was a longtime friend of mine from back home. And it was a male. And when my ex had answered the phone, all she heard was a male. Oh, Ty, you're having sex with a male. Da, 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 da. She's going on with everything that she can possibly go on with. And I'm like, calm down. No, it isn't. Let me dial the number. I always was a person to cover myself. I have my proof. I have my evidence. I have it. I have it all. And I went to her and I said, stop. I ran in the bathroom. This apartment we were living in was like a stand-up shower. The tiling, the floor was a tiling. So it was like these little small cubes of tiles going around the shower. And it's like this high. And each corner has like a point, like the edge of something. Like this phone here, you see to the edge that it was pointing. I remember I was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. Let me change my clothes. I have work. It's early in the morning. I jump up, gone in the shower. I said, I'm not arguing with you. The phone is there. You can check the phone, whatever. You know the code, go in it, whatever. In the shower, I don't know. She probably reads something wrong inside whatever in my phone. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at excuses. I don't know. But I remember going inside that shower and I'm washing my face. And as soon as I take the water off my face and look up, one hit crossed my face and I dropped to the floor. And as I dropped to the floor, the edge of that shower, she took my head back and she slammed it into it. All I remember was this white thing just came out of my eye. I thought my sight was gone. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a lump in my eye. Here, they're all in my eye. All of that were bloodsheds. Blood literally coming out my eyes. This white flesh coming out my eye. And I could not call the cops again because the cops were called so much. It was almost like when the cops arrived, it was a laugh. It's like, yeah, we have more sissy drama. Let's go see this one. This is how it was. And I never wanted to be that topic. So I sheltered away and I dealt with it. I'm telling you, I never kept friends. So you friends that wanted to be my friends then, and I seems like I pushed you guys away. This I protected, embarrassed, scared to speak up. Didn't want you guys to know what I'm facing and going through. You know, and if you guys were going through them, I hope that you guys had came out of it. I pray that you guys had come out of it. And if you haven't, you make your way out of it. Um, my eye was just, I cannot describe how my eye looked, but I knew my eyes was like this open. And everything was just fold over. And believe it or not, I could not go to the hospital. Because I'm sure I would have seen that same doctor again. But instead, I went to work. And I was working for a security company in the Bahamas in their private investigation field. So I was working in their office, doing their private investigation department. And I was the face when you walk through the door. And I would sit there just like this with my face bust up, Bahamian term, bruised, bloody, like however I could have cleaned it to make it look, that's how I sat on that workplace. And everybody that walked through there looked at me. And I said, you know what? Keep looking. Because you see this scar now, is this pain you see here now is becoming a scar. And this scar, it's gonna be wounded. It's wounded, it's gonna be a scar. But you see this here, it's gonna be healed through time. I've always kept faith. I've always kept the strength. And I believe that I would have come out of this, and I would have come out of this, alive if it was the last thing I've done. On I was with this person from April 1st, 2012. April 1st. No, yes, April 1st, 2012. Correct. Yes. I was with this person. Yeah, April 1st. It was April Fool's. I could have thought that this was a fool of a relationship that I was making myself into. April 1st, I was with them. And listen to me, it wasn't an easy road at all. I've went so much places with this person, but I was never introduced as a lover. I was always a friend or a sister. I was never a lover. There was also a time in when she had put me out. No, let me go back to when I before I went back into the house with her. We made up like every other relationship. You argue, you fight, you get back with them. It's a crazy thing. Um, I remember when she put me out of the house again and she argued, and I had this friend. But see, this friend was not just a friend. This friend was a friend, a long time friend of the family. Our parents grew up like sisters, like Ben and Benzie. I'm telling you, like they're really good friends, and we happens to grow up to be friends also. And that's who also came down and spent this opportunity with me as well on my journey. And I want to big up Novi for coming down here in Toronto to celebrate my journey and my come out. Really appreciate it. Thanks for 17 years of friendship. Um, this friend stuck by my side through thick and thin. They would not let me no longer go and sleep in my car, park on a park or on a lake or by a beach or whatever. They never wanted it. So it was like, you know what? We're gonna get an apartment, hotel, sorry, and this is where you're gonna stay, and this is what we're gonna do. Every night she stayed with me, and every night she tried to find a way to get my ex tried to get away to get to me. But this friend protected me in every which way possibly. And I thank you so much for doing that. Um, like I say, there's so much. It was like I wanted to start this off the first time with you guys, but as you can see in the intro of my first video, it got emotional. Like I tell you, there's a lot. In this relationship that I've been in for 5 years, I was with them. In this relationship, I've been with them. Um, it's been a long road. A long road. It's been a long road. It was 2000. I came here in Canada in 2015 of September. And when I meet her, it was April 1st prior to. So I remember it was April 1st, and I knew it was 5 years because the last fight we had, we were arguing, about gifts, why I did not get a particular gift or what people would say I might have come, certain things you have to put on the side. I'm gonna go right back into with that different abuse back inside Nassau. I knew that I had to get out of that, whether it would have leave with scars, something broken, something damp. I needed to get out of it. I remember staying inside this hotel with this friend helped me back and forth in the hotel room. And I was like, you know what? This is going to cost a lot of money. You know, we're spending like $90 to $100 a night on this one hotel. It's going to cost too much. It's going to run up everything that I have. And, you know, they already take whatever they could have taken out of my accounts before I could have. So it was almost like I need to be more budgetized. And that's what I did. So I came out of the hotel and I met one of my cousins, which is my uncle's son. And I briefly tell him what I was going through. And he was like, yo, why auntie never told me, come and stay with me? So I got and stayed with my cousin. I felt that I was safe. You know I was safe. So I found someone. I felt secure. I didn't have to go in the parks. I didn't have to spend on my hotel. Great. My cousin stuck by my side. He allowed me to stay there. He always felt that, hey, you know what? Listen, you can feel safe here. No one knows where I'm staying, so you're good. You know, I go to work. I come back. You know, when my girl come here, you know, I say, yeah, I give you respect or whatever. That's how we had it because I knew in my head I had a motive. I knew that I was going. I knew that I needed to get out. I was looking for a plan. I knew I was out of the relationship, but I knew that they were coming back. That night when I stayed at my cousin, when he told me that I can stay there, I waited till he gone out with his girlfriend. I changed up, put on my clothes, and I drove my car across the house. And I saw another car park outside the apartment. So I was like, whose car is that? I never saw that car before. So I keep spinning around to see if the person would have leave. Gone for a drive, come back, like, listen, it's going like after 11, almost 12 in the morning. The car's still there. Lights cut off, bedroom lights cut off. So I'm like, this was September 22nd, the early morning of September 22nd, 2015. And I drove around the house and I look and I said, I don't know that car. I've never seen that car. It don't ring a bell. You know, let me try calling. Call her phone. No response. I text. I was like, yo, let's make up. I love you. Don't do this to me. You know, all the things I tell my mom them that I was not going to do, I did. I called. I was like, I love you. You know, when you've been with somebody for so long, you don't want to just walk away despite of whatever. I mean, a lot of people might call it as stupid, but when I love hard. And that's my problem. I remember calling, she didn't answer. I sent messages after message, and I was like, okay, you're done with me, fine. I said, great. I said, I'm leaving. I'm getting the hell out of this country, and I don't want to come back anymore. You know, and I sent a whole lot of messages. And I pick up the phone at 3:30 in the morning. I remember this like it was yesterday. I pick up the phone at 3:30 in the morning. My mom and my sister was in Canada visiting my brother. So they were in Canada. I didn't go because I was embarrassed after all the, you know, marks and everything visible on my body. I could not let any one of them see me. Even some of the things I'm saying now is quite new. And now they know why I hide myself and never visible to the family or always go separately because embarrassment. But it was 3:30 that morning. I called my mom, and she was still up. Thank God she was up. And I was like calling and I was crying. I was like, I want to go. I don't want to be here no more. I said, Mommy, you have a choice. I said, you have a choice to either turn on the news and watch me kill myself, me being murdered, or you can send for me to come to Canada. That was the three choices that I give my mom. And like any other mother, they would do the best thing. So my mom hung up the phone listened to me. She was like, I can call you back. 30 minutes later, I didn't see nothing. I said, okay, I probably upset her. I probably made her mad. So I jumped in my car and I went back at the apartment. Why is I wait for my mom? This is like 3:30 in the morning. I'm back and forth, hoping to get her because I know my mom is gonna find a way to get me out of there, and I would have no other choice but to leave. So let me see if she wants to be with me or not. Stupidly, I went back around the house. Car still there. Everything. Knock on the door. No answer. I said, okay. Knock on the door. No answer. A few minutes later, as I walk away, a guy answered the door and he came to the door. He was like, yo, can I help? I was like, how you mean, can you help? This is my house. I live here. Then they called the person. The person came to the door trying to call me. Wait. I was like, really? I said, thanks for making my decisions quite clear. And I walked off crying, storming, because I'm shocked on what am I seeing. See, they never spoke of these things, but they want to speak of things that are not true. That's the sad part. But I'm going to speak my side because I know my side is the truth. No one ever gets to listen to my side because I never spoke. A lot of people probably sitting down on my view and they'll be like, wow, this is new. I've never heard this before. I would have never guessed this. Well, guess it. It's true. And I have every bit of it to show and every bit of it to prove. Like I said, as natural as it gets. At 3:30 that morning, I called my mom and I gave my mom that ultimatum. My mom called me back later on that day after I got home crying and doing all that stuff. I was like, Mom, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna do this and that. I'm going crazy. Like my mental state is like anything was reliable of happening. That's what I knew. I needed to get away and I needed to go now. That's all I knew. I needed to leave the Bahamas and I needed to go now. I knew that my ex would have come and abused me because I came there and I seen something that she did not want me to see. So I guess she figured that I would have gone and told people or whatever. But see, that's not my place. I'm not gonna go out there and do that. I came there for me and I got my answer. So I knew that I needed to get. So my mom called me back later on that morning. It was the next, like later on, same morning, 3:30 in the morning. She called me later on, like around 9 that morning, and she was like, listen to me. I got your ticket. I maxed my credit card out on that. I got your ticket. You better get your on that boat, on that plane. I don't care what you do with your car. Carry the kid to school. I gotta see let the kid go to the lady from church until she get back. She just was giving me a list of things what I need to do because my flight leave at a certain time and she needed me to get to the airport. So I'm sitting there like, don't know what to do because in my mind, even though my heart is saying, even though my mind is saying, go, my heart is still saying, I love her. So I sat there and I'm looking at the time and I'll be like, no. I'm going to say, if you don't jump on that plane, don't call my phone no more. Don't text me. Anybody asks, tell them you don't have a mother. Let me see how serious you is to get out of this because it come like if you don't leave, you're going to leave dead. So you have a choice. And I was like, you know what? My mom had enough. I think I'm ready. And I jump up and I grab my one suitcase that I had my few stuff on. Jump in my car, send a message to my cousin. I say, thanks for having me here. Really appreciate that you let me stay with you in this time. I never even tell him he was upset that I even left and never even told him. Briefly, he said we could hang out and stuff, but I never told him. But I pack up my car, I drive to my son's school, and if you guys have my Facebook page, you'll see the video when he actually say bye. But I will add those on later on into my journey. You will get to see everything in stages. I'm just briefly telling you my life before I got here. I drive to my son's school, and I'm sitting in the schoolyard, and I'm like, Lord, I don't know when I'm going to see my son again. I don't know what's going on. I'm going over there in a foreign country. What if they send me back? What if I get arrested? I don't know how the immigration policy go and everything goes in a different state. I've never done it before. So it was new to me. So I drive there. I said, okay, I have 2 hours I had 3 hours to spare. Let me go quick. Went to my son's school. I asked the teacher to have him out of school. I hug him. And I remember that last word my son said. He was like 3 years old, 3, 4. I remember he said, Mommy, can you buy me a toy boat so I can drive it across the sea to come and visit you whenever I need to see you? Listen, nobody could ever prive my son from me. What I went through in my life with my kid, no one can ever take him from me. I can tell you this now. My son, I had to say not a goodbye, but a see you later. And he asked for this toy car. And I said, son, I can't get your toy car to come, but I'm gonna go to Canada and I promise you, I'm gonna make a great life for you and me. It's gonna be different, son. And he can stand and tell you as clear as I tell you, after all those years, this little boy remember that saying. I left the school after crying and hugging my son. I put my car on the boat, descended to the island where my mom was living. My mom lived, and I ran to go catch a taxi, caught a taxi at the airport. And as soon as I get to the airport, I look at my phone and it was my ex. Can we talk? I was like, talking, we ran out of options. We can't talk no more. It's like, can we talk? I'm sorry, Lala Ray. We always fight and we always make up. I said, come a time that I'm going to have to stop because, see, I have to make up my mind and in my heart that I have to walk away because I'm not sure if one day you're going to snap and kill me and then you're going to say sorry like you always do. This was a phone call. I said, I'm leaving and I'm not coming back. She was upset. She escalated, but she thought I was joking. Jump on in the taxi, head to the airport, and I got to the Pearson airport. My flight came when I got here. When I got in Canada, when I got to the airport, I had to be to the airport like 3 hours before. So I got to the airport and I'm walking and I'm pacing back. This was September 22nd was when my mom told me to leave. September 23rd was when I left. So I left. Like after seeing what I've seen with my ex, I automatically was like, you know what? I can't do this to myself. I can't keep going back thinking that she would change, she would get better, it would get worse. Because if they can hit you once and tell you sorry and they can continue doing it, there's no better. There's gonna continue happening until your life is gone. I'm telling you, I've seen relationships end up in that result where one person did not survive. And I stand in that airport and I was like, this is it. I was 89 pounds, hardly eat any food. Depression took me, everything took me. I felt like I was at the edge, and the only thing left to do was to jump. That's how I felt. What I tell you guys briefly is what I've went through. There's a whole lot. You will ask me today probably why I'm still sitting here. I'm sitting here because I'm strong, and I'm hoping that I can help somebody out there. I could have come back in many different ways. I could have come back with vengeance. I could have come back with hate. But I come back with love. I come back with peace. That's all I want. All I want is answers and hopefully to help someone so they would not make these decisions in life. I'm not giving you a story out of a book. I'm giving you a story out of my life. What I face with. This is not something in black and white. This is something that I face. I have the scars. I have the memories. I have everything that I face. I have that. I have the knowledge. But see, through all of this pain and things that suffering that I went through in my life, I've learned to build strength. And that's why I use this song. Because the song symbolizes so much strength. And no matter who you are, what you look like in the world, this is you. Be you. Don't let nobody tell you nothing otherwise. I'm telling you, listen, speak up. I sat on that airport and I was like, I don't know what am I going to do. Should I go on this plane? I hear my flight. My mom texting my phone, I'll see you soon. What should I do? I got a call on my phone saying, come, let me see you. What should I do? I had a choice. So I sat down for that second as I watched people go back and forth inside the plane to get ready to go. I sat there and I look at my life and I said, well, Ty, this is it. What would you do? You're gonna go? You're gonna stay? This might just be your last opportunity. What are you gonna do? With my heart pulsing, I said, I'm gonna go. It's time for a change. And the change starts with me. I jump on that plane, and after 3.5 ride to Canada, I've entered. And I remember September 23rd, 2015. I remember when I came inside this place. It was a beautiful moment. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment because it was different. I get to see the city from above. But that wasn't the only strong thing that stuck, I received a text message from Facebook, and it was from my ex. Where are you? I'm looking for you. Meet me so and so. I did not respond. Instead, I called. Missed the call, but they called back. And when they called back, I said, ain't no coming back. This is the moment you can say, I walk away. This ain't no coming back. And I did not go back. I said, I am in Toronto, Canada. That's just where I am at. She's on the phone and she was, no, you're not. I video called and I said, see it here. This is where I'm at. She was upset of the whole situation. And she did everything in her power, even with me being here in Canada, to try and destroy me and take me down. Had persons come to me and tell me that she was in Canada and she was coming for me. And it was so much. I'm telling you. But you see, I fought. A long journey I fought. Throughout each and every part of my journey, you're going to get to see stages. See, if I was to continue going on and on and on and on, I think we would have a few more parts in this. I might have to do another part because I don't want to hold you guys. But I have so much to bring to you guys. There's so much I have to bring to you guys. I just want you guys to continue to send out this link, follow this link, subscribe to this link, share it, like, comment. Listen, support all the way. I'm telling you, I know I hit home for a lot of you guys. Let me be your voice. You have questions, you can inbox me. You have anything that you want to ask me, you can ask me. I can hit on those topics. I'm okay with answering the questions. I'm okay. Because one time I could not. But this time I am. That's the difference. When I came to Canada, it was a life journey for me. I knew I was in a country with many opportunities. And I also could have do what you see here. And I knew that this was my moment to stand here and be brave. Throughout my whole journey, I've gracefully present to y'all videos and different things with quotes and different photo shoots and different stuff because it told my story. It hit home for topics. It showed up. And that's the greater part about it. Coming to Canada, it was a lot. But I also knew that I would have get to this place that I'm at now. And I've been in Canada for about 7 years. and I've been transitioned 3 years. Mother's Day made 3 years that I've been transitioned. I would take you guys step by step into my journey, into my channel to show you from start to where it started to where I'm at now. This happens to be one of my photo shoots that I had when I first started testosterone. This was one of the first. I've documented stages in every one of my stages throughout my journey, from voice change to surgeries to you name it. Um, but this right here was a journey. This was my life before entering Canada and my entry into Canada. So there would be another part to this, and there also is going to be a lot of stuff inside this because, see, I did not come on this live to stationary on one thing because I've went through a lot of things in my life with previous exes, lovers, friends. Like I said, I faced it, and it's emotional for me. As you can see, I break several times inside this, and I want to be able to give it to you guys and for you guys to understand and see it. Don't judge me. Um, just get to know me. That's all. I'm a cool person, straight up. Um, real as it gets. Like, allow me to show you who I am. That's all I'm asking you as my viewers. Allow me to show you what I went through in my life to help you guys, and allow me to gracefully help those that have questions in their heads about the whole transitioning. How does the surgeries comes out? Were there complications? Could you use this? Could you use that? There's a lot of questions all over the place that a lot of viewers are asking me or inboxing me. I am open to answering it all. But like I say, these first stages are just to get my story to be heard, my stories to be heard. And that's all I want to do, is to be heard and to be understood and not to be judged, wrongly judged like how I was judged every time. Listen, take the time to get to know those around you. You'll be surprised who can actually be a friend, a family, a lover, anything. Just somebody to talk to. You'll be surprised. I've went through it. I faced it. I'm a victim of abuse. I'm a victim of a lot of violence. A lot, a lot of violent things happened to me. Listen, I had knife, gun pull out on me. I've I've had it, and I have a lot to share with you guys. And listen, standing here, it's like I'm getting a playback, like the visions in the back of here. You know, these visions in the back of here, it's like almost like what I'm getting inside here with my life. So I'm proud of myself because I spoke up. I was able to take one story out of my chest, but not out of my heart. I don't hate my past. I hate what my past have done to me. But I love what it had come out of me, and I became greater. I was able to stand in the front of you guys and speak on a part of life that I never thought that I would have a voice to speak and say because of fear of what they will do to me or what people might think or what people might say. But listen, stop worrying about what people have to say and what people might thinking, because them same ones that's sitting there thinking all those things is the same ones that you might be the one to help. But they're afraid to tell you. Never know. But listen, I came a long way, and the journey was not easy. It was a long and hard one, but I got here through the grace of God, my great support, and I was able to present this to you. It's gonna be another part to this because I don't want to hold you guys. I know a lot of you guys are out there and I'm coming with you so much and I don't want to clutch your brains up with so much because I'm sitting here with a lot of things, a lot of pages and things going through that what I want to bring to you guys and what I want to do for you guys. So there's a lot that I have to go through. You know, there's a lot of topics and things that I'm going to hit on. There's a lot of things that I'm going to do. But just use my story not as laughter or conversation or talk, but I see myself as a survivor. I've survived. I've survived one of the greatest and the toughest situation that I felt that I would never in my life face. I thought I would have been dead a long time ago, but I am here. And I have a lot of those moments to share with you guys. But this is just part 2 of a long journey that I have to show you guys. Let me tell you, there's a lot. There's a lot I have coming towards you guys. So I'm just going to take this home for you guys and let you guys see that I'm here and I'm bringing it to you and I'm bringing it to you as real as it gets. I'm not holding back on nothing. Like this pain was real. It is real. You know, I'm ready to free. I'm ready to be free. I'm ready to spread my wings. I'm ready to open up. I'm ready to be me. Yo, this is me. This is the new me. This is me. I'm telling you, you have a lot more to see. This is me. This is me. I'm telling you. Phone continue once again. I can't stretch this more, but like, comment, subscribe, share the link. I'm telling you, I have a lot coming to you in many different ways, but I need you guys to tune in and stay tuned in. Just remember when you click the notification bell, when you click notification, it will be the bell. Once you hit the bell, right about subscribe, you have to click subscribe once. If you hit it twice, it will come off. So you hit it once, hit the bell, you'll be notified whenever I am posting any videos. Like I say, every week I'm gonna be on this. Twice a week, I'm gonna pull through this. I have a lot to give you guys. Like I'm telling you, share this link. You won't regret it. The more support, the more shares, the more likes, the more comments. Just do show some love, some rainbow love here. Um, Also, I want to give thanks to, yes, before I give thanks to everybody, before I leave, there is a part 3 to this because there's a lot that I have to share. I never knew that I would have got so emotional at the beginning and it would have been so hard to talk. Standing in the front of a camera is new for me. I've always been hidden, but it's going to be another part this week. So continue to tune in, continue to show support, continue to show love every week. I'm going to get here earlier and better. I know a lot of my posts was coming out late because there's so much things that I'm trying to get prepared for you guys to bring it to you guys. So just keep tuned in. Make sure when you hit the subscribe button, hit it one time, hit the bell. The bell will notify you whenever I have any posts or anything up, or even when I'm live, it will notify you. Make sure to share it also. Um, Also, I want to give thanks to the 519 for getting me the opportunity to start my journey. Um, I want to also give thanks to GRS Montreal and the surgeon there at GRS Montreal, the surgical team at GRS Montreal. I want to give you a special big up for doing an amazing job. Yes, I might have struggled with a few complications, but through the grace of God, I've got out here. You guys will get to see every bit of my journey. They were amazing in Montreal. I want to give thanks to all of my viewers out there, all of my supporters out there. everyone that tuned in. I want to give thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. I want to thank you all who tuned in today and watched me, who commented. I haven't really get to see all of your viewers, all of your comments. But I really appreciate it. And I thank you guys so much. I could have not done this without you guys. Like I said, there's a lot of it. I want to big up Montreal. Let me tell you, looking for a place to visit, looking place to go, you got to hit up GRS Montreal, Gay Village Stretch. That is the stretch where I went live. When I show you guys the link. Also, let me get some information here. I just want to continue blessing each and everyone up for everything that you guys have done for me. I really appreciate it. The support, the comments, the questions. I'm going to answer a lot of you guys' questions just as I get to the topics that you guys are questioning about. I would most definitely get onto it. Okay. I also want to big up Sherburne Medical Health for taking on me as a patient and taking on me as on to start my journey here, my transition journey. I also want to thank the owners of OSEZ Boutique and Montreal. Got to give it up to them. They were amazing. They treat me well. They have all the brands. They have their own brand too, Scott and Soda. Check it out. That is really nice. They have specialized in amazing underwear. Feels very, very well. They have the Lacoste. They have, listen, every brand that you can possibly think of. Check them out. You won't miss it. I'm telling you, check it out there. You can link the bio. You will also see them inside the link. You can hit them up whenever you go and visit in Montreal. So it's boutique and it's OSEZ Boutique. So you can hit it out, check them out. Make sure, tell them your boy Trey sent you. Big up. They were amazing up there. You guys visit there. Also, I want to thank my mom for being a great supporter, my sister for being a great supporter. I want to thank my brother, family members, loved ones, friends, everyone that support me. I can't thank you so much. I really, really, really gracefully appreciate it to the most. Um, Dr. Langani, I'll see you soon. Like, I had to big up Montreal. Like, your boy hooked me up. I got to big up GRS Montreal once again. They did an amazing job throughout my surgeries. My surgeon was awesome. I will carry through that chapter in my life eventually, stages. Also, Sherburne, I want to also give a shout out for Kathy Wong, was my nurse practitioner. She took me on like a champ. She made sure that I was great. She always see that I had the best. She was awesome. I must give it to her. She, whenever something go wrong, she's always on it to try and make sure that I'm great. Okay, Ty. Oh, Trey, should we do this? Like she always tried to figure out how is it that she could make sure that I was great. I want to give a special shout out to her, telling her thanks so much for taking me on and making sure that I had the best. She always makes sure that she would not up my testosterone or do anything unless she know that blood works and everything was great. Listen, I don't think I had a great medical team. Like, I have a great one, I'm telling you. I have a great one. So I want to give a shout out to her. Also, I want to give a shout out to Carlene. Carlene at the 519. If it wasn't for Carlene to see me and to hear my story at the 519 when I reach out to her, she could have said no, she could have put me on hold, but she tried every angle there was possible to get me on a list so I would not have to wait when it comes to my transitioning. And I want to thank you so much for being there for me, to pushing me on, to understanding my story. Thank you so much, and appreciate it. could have not started this without you. I probably would have still been on the list. But thank you guys so much, so much. And thank you guys so much for watching. Yes. So, yes, I want to thank you guys so much. So I had a little interference right there, but I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. I will be here every week, not same time, but every week I will be here. I'm going to brush you off with a lot of stuff. And I want to thank you guys so much once again. Peace. It's your boy Trey, and I'm telling you, I have a lot more in my life and my journey, and a lot more coming to you guys. So make sure stay tuned. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. It's your boy Trey, and I love you guys. Until we meet again, peace. I love you.